John Paul Valley, better known as Azreal, was a mutated vigilante created by the Order of St. Dumas, who operated out of Gotham City. Azreal served as Batman's replacement, while Bruce Wayne was recovering from an attack by Bane. Azreal then became too extreme and was eventually put down by the real Batman once his recuperation was complete. Michael Lane was a former GCP officer with a propaganda chip implanted within his brain while he was an infant by the Order of St. Dumas. Azreal was ordered to gain the trust of Batman so that when the time came he could kill Batman and take up the mantle, thus giving the Order full control of Gotham City. Depending on the player's choice, Azreal can either be locked up after being apprehended by Batman for attacking him, or he can break free of his mind control and regain his own consciousness in order to fight the Order for their treachery. John Paul Valley was a well-built human male in the 20 to 30-year-old range. He was very physically fit and was able to take on Bane and win, although with the use of numerous utilities. He was a very able combatant and was able to put up a decent fight against Batman himself. Due to his mutations, however, he had enhanced strength, speed, and skill. He was more than capable of doing acrobatics, powerlifting, and other strenuous feats of strength. Michael Lane was an extremely fit human male, also around the 20 to 30-year-old range. He is a former GCP officer, was most likely one of the most proficient officers of his time. He then monitored Batman throughout his ventures in Arkham City and is now able to replicate Batman's ability to perfection. This would indicate extreme physical strength, reflexes, and speed for Michael Lane. I declare them even. They both have extreme conditioning that would allow for speed, endurance, power, and total reflex prowess. John Paul Valley was a very capable combatant trained by Batman himself in order to succeed him, and if it was necessary. He was not able to defeat Batman in hand-to-hand combat, even though Batman had taught him sufficient enough martial arts. However, Batman himself stated that if John Paul Valley's mind was clear, he would have surpassed Batman himself in skill. Michael Lane replicated Batman's fighting style down to the exact movements and execution. Michael has been pitted against waves of ninjas, brutes, and standard infantrymen and defeated them all without being touched once. Michael Lane would most likely put up a significant brawl with Batman, but would ultimately fail due to his inexperience. The edge goes to Michael Lane. His sheer versatility in battle and martial art prowess would trump John Paul Valley's insufficient skill level, albeit not by much. John Paul Valley's arsenal is comprised of Kevlar armor, a flame sword, blade projectiles, and a flamethrower. Michael Lane's arsenal is comprised of the Suit of Sorrows, the Sword of Sin, the Smoke Pellets, Batarangs, Bat Claws, Remote Batarangs, Remote Electrical Gun, Explosive Gel, Freeze Blast, and a Disruptor. The edge goes to Michael Lane at the sheer amount of viable combative usage that these devices have over John's. While John's weapons are viable, Michael just has more of them. Lane's Suit of Sorrows also had the strength and durability to fight the likes of Deathstroke, Nightwing, Batman, and even Killer Croc. Let's say this fight begins on a Gotham rooftop. The two would most likely circle each other for around a minute. They will both clash swords and Lane would break. Lane would avoid Valley's slashing onslaught and flame-throwing attacks. Michael would have to get in close and wrestle the sword away from Valley and then throw it off the rooftop. Lane would be singed a good bit but will use the freeze blast. However, Valley's Kevlar armor would be too much for Lane's equipment. Lane's batarang would only serve as annoyances to Valley. However, the Kevlar armor would start to come apart. John's response would be the projectile blades. Lane would dodge all of them and block the clawed attacks as well. Lane would eventually work over Valley by using a tactile thought process to slowly take apart Valley's armor. Valley would become angry and intensify his assault. John Paul Valley and Michael Lane would beat each other to bloody pulps for a good while. Lane and Valley would batter each other with punches until Lane knees Valley in the face and bashes his face up against Batman's signal projector, knocking him out, leaving a near-dead, badly beaten Michael Lane the winner.